So here we are again in the lovely, lovely world of Drink Lake, specifically the Forest of Giants. As you can see, I look a little bit different now. Yeah. So I'll be honest, I decided to do a little bit of soul farming, something I never actually did on PC, because I wanted to up my stats a bit, because I really wanted to try out this old whip, which I now have the stats for. In the process of that, I did actually get a chest drop from the knights, so I'm using that. It looks really raggedy, but it's solid enough. I won't use their gloves or boots because the gloves or boots look a little more than a little raggedy. And that was incompetent. That was a Royal Soldier helm. I'm not putting it on because, like I said, it looks pretty crappy. I'm not really too concerned because I'm in a pretty brief spot here. This is a pretty simple spot. What I intend to do is I intend to go down below and... Oh, look at that. Man, I did a lot of damage to him. I intend to go down below and clear out that area. Guys are being right annoying. I'm actually putting on a pretty bad show here right now. But so I gained some more souls because I wanted to power level a little bit just so I could try out that whip. In the end, I think what soul level am I now? I know when I left the video I was like soul level 12. Now I'm something like soul level 26, so 14 soul levels later. Believe it or not, the majority of them actually came off that 6,000 some souls I had at the end of the last video. You might ask, why didn't you sneak up on that guy? There's a good reason I didn't sneak up on that guy. I found that he really doesn't let you sneak up on him. Yeah, I know, weird. As far as scaling goes, I've got a much better example for you real quick. I just want to show you. Remember I told you I'm using the old whip. I'm getting 52 scaling off the Mighty Knight sword right now, and that's with my 17 strength and 20 dex. And it's CC from strength and dex. There goes my cell phone. What do I get with the whip? Despite the fact that the whip scales with EB, and that is with CC, you would think the whip would scale better, right? Because I actually do have more dex than strength by 3 points, and it scales at B. Well, guess what? It doesn't. I actually scale 10 points higher with the Mighty Knight sword because, again, strength just scales better than dex. It really does. And if you're looking to play a character who runs off a straight non-enchanted weapon, you want to be a strength build. I don't know how else to say it. There's some decent dex weapons out there, but a lot of them have some big disadvantages. Like the whip here is solid, but it has one major problem. Man! My lord, what am I doing? It has one major problem. And that major problem is that it has extremely low durability. Just like all the katanas in this game also have extremely low durability. Like a katana normally has 40 durability. Mighty Knight sword has 70. Think about it. And remember, weapon durability is a big deal this time. It really is. You can actually drop down right here and it's safe if you do it right. See? Yeah, there are a lot of guys down there. You need to be careful if you're coming at it from this angle. I did die 2 more times. Those who are super observant with great memories may notice my HP bar is a little lower. And I'm sure I've probably popped the death counter by now as well. But those 2 deaths were... Jesus Christ, man, what are you doing? Why is it when I start to record, my play just goes out the window? I don't know. That was just embarrassing right there. One of you decide what you want to do. But yeah, I died 2 more times. One was making a jump that I purposefully didn't show you in the last video. I'm lying, I actually just forgot about it, but there's a jump where you can get some extra items in that last video, and I forgot to show it, but I missed it my first time. That would mark only the second time I've ever missed it out of like 10 attempts, so I'm just really putting on a pretty embarrassing show, to be honest, so far in this playthrough. The other time I was simply running along a tight passageway, I think up the top of that wall where that archer I'm all hardcore about killing was. And I don't know, I just took the turn too hard, got in a hurry or something. And yep, there's an ambush, so don't go in there just yet. Hey, look at that. Let's try that whip while we're at it. Wham. Nice. That whip has really bad durability. Also, I have this short bow. You actually get the short bow from the blacksmiths. Once you unlock the door for linen grass, there's a chest in there that has the short bow in it. So that's where I got that bow. So this is a dicey little proposition here. I can't break it with that. Really should break it just to be safe. That's one of these flaming salamander things. Despite what the hall looks like, you actually can't get to where he is. There's like a little piece of wall right in front of him, so you can't run through there. Even if you could, those things are stupidly nasty, and even for a late game character, can kill you easily if you mess up. Open the door, please. One thing I'll mention right now that I almost forgot about before. Boom, fire longsword, yes. One thing I forgot to mention before, I'll throw out there really quick like, is that you can also break chests in addition to doors and crates. Metal chests like this one, you can't break, it's metal, you can't break it. But you can break wooden chests, and if you break a wooden chest, guess what? You also broke what was inside it, so don't bash wooden chests with weapons unless you want to lose those items. I'm just saying. So there we go. We got the fire longsword. And this is another thing where, as I say, will help stand out why the Mighty Knight sword stands out. See that CC scaling on the strength index? It's only DD because this is a fire longsword. It's a longsword that has been infused with fire. Therefore, it has weaker scaling for physical stats and stronger scaling for magic stats. It's still not a bad weapon, don't get me wrong. 78, but the Mighty Knight sword is better. Fire longsword's not a bad weapon either. I also plus 10 this in my original playthrough, and I actually used it for a long time instead of the Mighty Knight sword, because it does have a slightly longer blade, I think, a little better reach, and it doesn't have the weird whoosh whoosh swing to it. It handles like a normal longsword. So I used it for a really long time in my first playthrough. But it's not quite as strong as the Heidi sword, and I don't know if I'm even pronouncing that right, but that's the way I'm going to say it anyway. But it's not a bad starting weapon at all. One thing I also mentioned real quick because I forgot to talk about it, we'll hit the select button to show you some stuff. There's way more scaling going on. If you're going to be a strength or dex-based character, as I said, it's a fire-infused longsword. I won't go into that until later, but you just don't want to enchant your weapons. You don't want to infuse them if you're going to be strength or dex, except for maybe certain things. You might want to infuse a weapon with poison if you're going to be a dex character, for example. But for the most part, if you're going to be strength or dex, you don't want to infuse weapons. You want it to be a straight longsword, or, you know, you get what I'm saying. But this is obviously strength, that's obviously dex. So, you know the Mighty Knight sword scales with lightning. Elemental damage can now scale. There's 4 types of elemental damage. There's magic, lightning, fire, and dark. Okay, what scales those stats? Intelligence scales fire and well, intelligence scales magic primarily and fire. It also scales dark. Faith primarily scales lightning, and it also scales fire and dark. Both intelligence and faith scale both fire and dark, but they both have very not huge amounts to it. Supposedly, the closer your intelligence and faith are to each other, the bigger the bonus dark gets. I don't know a whole lot about it because I've never really used dark weapons, but that's my understanding. So if you're going to use lightning weapons, faith gives you the biggest boost to lightning, intelligence gives you the biggest boost to magic. And if you're going to play a int or faith-based character, you definitely want to get a weapon infused with the appropriate elements. Now you know why I went through all the effort of clearing those guys out, don't you? So that's enough about that. Let's try to move on here quickly. If I did not have the whip, I would definitely be using the fire longsword right now, by the way. Okay. So now we're going to go downstairs to continue with the level. So there's the fire salamander down there as well. Where is he? Why did the game do that? Just screwed up my camera angle all hardcore. I hate it when it does that. It's so weird. Like, why did it all focus me? It doesn't matter. Another guy pretending to be dead, really just taking a nap. It's okay. I know your jive. Soul of Lost Undead. So again, here's another door that's locked. This one really is locked. You can't break that one. The reason you could break the other one is because it had the iron bars on it, but the iron bars were sort of patchy, like they weren't solid. So that's how I knew you could break it. The fact that I've already done it before also helps. This is one of those magical dynamic lights that if you light this one, it's actually a dynamic light. That's another door that's locked and you can't open yet. Fine work, skeleton. Sure. So here's a guy who's kind of defenseless. Might as well make him pay for it. And through the fog we go. So this is a pretty interesting area. All these little tree roots and guys all over the place. Take my advice. You want to walk up here. You want to do this. Why do you want to do that? Because one, there's going to be some guys chasing you because they'll see you going up that thing. Come on, you can do it. So guy number one that's going to chase you. Here comes guy number two. He's dead too. So now we can move up. That area is really annoying because there's lots of bowmen and archers and stuff like that. We'll have to deal with them sooner or later, but we're not going to right now. So first things first, we want to try to sneak up on this guy. Yes! What the heck? My shield was up. Fine. I was going to try to backstab him too to save. Oh my god, I forgot. I forgot to buy a firebomb. Man, what an idiot. Okay. Do I have a firebomb actually? I do have a firebomb. Oh my god, I let one of those archers shoot me. I'm so off right now. So here's this guy. There's a reason I'm doing this and I'm not going to go up there. We'll go into that another time, but I'm not going up top. We shot him in the head, and now he fall down. But he's not alone, so don't get too excited. Oh yes, he dropped a bastard sword. Very lucky for me. I don't even know what to say to that. I have film, and you're going to see it on film. So yeah, I don't think I really need to explain how I feel about that attack. Excuse me. Why didn't I don't even know at this point. And you know what? It doesn't matter because I was going to head back to the bonfire right now anyway. But Karkarov, that's a weird, you know, kind of strange run back for the bonfire. Is it? Is it a strange run back for the bonfire? Oh man, I barely survived that, but look at that. It's a bonfire. Little shortcut action. So I've got 2,000 souls now. I don't want to go back just yet. That is enough for a level. I just don't want to go back quite yet. Let this guy come up here and come after me. That's it for him. I haven't upgraded any weapons yet, even though I technically could at this point. Leave him alone. And on we go. Bear in mind, enemies in this game will be really sticky. They will pursue you. That particular guy won't. Green Blossom is for healing poison. So this room is a big trap. They all missed it. And I really screwed that up. Guy, don't worry. Man, I screwed that up. But it's okay. Great soul arrow, big loot for a sorcerer. Large soul of a lost undead. Blue wooden shield. I think I'm going to take a look at that blue wooden shield real quick and see how it stacks up. Nah. Bound wooden shield. I'll tell you exactly. There's only really two stats I look at. Number one, stability, which is the. I'll just show it to you. It's that icon. That's stability. Basically, how much stamina you lose when you block an attack. And this one, physical cut. How much of physical damage percentage you block. This one has 90% with 40 stability. That's really not great long term, but it's better than any other shield I have right now. The rest of the stats don't matter. This chest is trapped. I've seen it trapped with poison. I've seen it trapped with arrows. I've seen it trapped with all sorts of weirdness. Now this is where you want a Pharos Lockstone, because Pharos Lockstones go in things like this and they open secret doors. I shouldn't say secret doors because obviously there's a Pharos Lockstone there. But there are actual secret doors in this game. Again, you activate them by pressing the X button or A button on the Xbox controller. You don't attack secret doors in this game. But there are Pharos Lockstones. Once you put a Pharos Lockstone in that thing, it will open up a passage. We are definitely going to be putting a Pharos Lockstone in that one, by the way, just not quite yet. So what's this message say? Try attacking, but be wary of trio. That's worth a rate, because this door is locked, right? It is. But if you attack it, we're going to try the whip here. The guys on the other side will just come on through for you. This is one of those situations where the whip comes in real handy. This whip is almost game-breakingly powerful at this point in the game. I'll be honest, it really is. But notice, I've only used it to kill like 5 guys and it's already at half durability. Actually, I've only used it to kill like 3 guys. This chest is not trapped. I'll try not to call that out every time I open one. Life ring and a large Titanite shard. Just for the record, Titanite shards, which I already picked up from that chest over there, take items from +0 to +3. Large shards take it from +4 to +6. Chunks take it from +7 to +9. And a slab is required to get it to +10. The number of shards you need goes up. So if you go to +1, it's just 1. You go to +2, it's 2, so on and so forth. That, of course, resets when you get to large shards. Large shard +4 is 1, +2 is 5, blah, blah, blah. What was I going to do here? Hey, guess what? I did remember to equip that ring, even though I forgot to the first time. We're going to equip that ring now. There's the life ring that could have been one of your starting gifts. Gives you a little extra bonus. We're not going to go through there quite yet. We're going to do one other thing first. Down you go. Be careful because those black barrels with the silver banding are explosive barrels, so especially if you roll through here with that fire longsword, you might blow yourself up. Just saying. Large soul of the lost undead. That undead was named Rodrigo. I know because I say I do. So this is a pretty ominous looking tree, isn't it? Alas, nothing happened. Remember that tree's there. That's all I'm going to say. We will come back to it in a very, very, very long time from now. So, I'm going to let you in on a secret here. If you look down below us, there's a fella down there named Pate. Yes, he resembles Patches the hyena quite a bit. He is not Patches the hyena. Not the same guy. They don't behave the same. Pate is not really that bad a guy, in my opinion. I'm not going to talk to him right now because I'm a jerk. But we'll get back to him in a bit. So, I did mention you have 2 types of arrows and bolts you can equip at a time. The left set is your R1, the right set is your R2. So if you have 2 types of arrows equipped and you want to fire the second set, you would just use R2 instead of R1. I did buy some good old-fashioned wooden arrows from Linen Grass, so I would have arrows for my bow. There's a really good reason I'm sniping these guys. Trust me, you want to snipe those dudes. And by the way, if you don't like bows for some reason, there's a light crossbow. I would much rather just have a bow. So, this is actually a really hard jump. I actually made it on my other character on my first try. We'll see if I can make it this time. Yep, I made it. Whoopee! More torch. Notice my torch time is now 14 minutes and 33 seconds. See? Imagine dropping down there and having to fight all 3 of them. Not a good idea. And here's some loot. Mail breaker and infantry helm. That is not a hollow infantry helm, it's just a plain old infantry helm. I don't want it though, because I still think it looks stupid. And there's a little wheelbarrow for me to fall into. Dandy. So should we try to kill that guy? Yeah, what the heck, let's try to take him. Come on. Bring it on, Bubby. That was very badly done by me. Miss. Ha. Ow. guy's like magic. It's like on PS3, I could have done that all day long and it worked. On PC though, no. It doesn't work on PC. Fine, you douche. Come on. That tough, but that is kind of irritating that it went that way. So we killed him. I think I'm going to go wussy with the whip again here for a second, because I want to play this safe. Another life gem and a homeward bone. It's good to stock up on life gems now, that's all I'm going to say. I got plenty, so I'm going to go ahead and bust one. Back to the Heidi sword. Time to deal with yet another sleeping beauty. How did that? Jesus. So you'll notice there's a guy up there. There's actually two. It's one of those weird loading issues. And yes, you want to kill that guy first, because if you don't, he will jump you when you try to loot that item. So, I suggest trying to go for a headshot here. He drops from below, above, that's why. I still win. You lose. Good day, sir. This is a pretty cool little scenario here. If you remember way back in the original reveal of this game, halberd, for those who like halberds, know what this note's about. Be wary of back. And if you charged up here without wearing that guy down, I don't know what to say to you. You need to learn how to play Dark Souls, because you don't ever want to go up on a tight passage like that, you know, one-on-one with a guy, unless you absolutely have to. But halberd's a good weapon for people. But if you remember back to the original reveal, when you came here, this is actually the area that was shown then, and everything was really dark at that time. And there was one of those turtle knights was up on that thing. Or no, it wasn't. It was a grim warrior, which are like little weird dwarves. What are you doing? What in the world? I swear to God. How in the hell did that not hit him? Sometimes I wonder if I'm cursed because I'm recording. Large leather shield. That actually has a chance of being better than the bound shield. This is probably the best non-bought starting shield in the game. And look at that. It is better than the bound shield. Sure, it loses on some physical stats and it loses on bleed and lightning resistance, but guess what? It's equal to or better than on everything else. It doesn't do as much damage on the hit, but who really cares? It's not like I'm going to use the shield to bash people. And look, it's leather. It's so cute. So that's about the end of the DLC items use. I guess the homunculus mace is still okay. So, loot this. Fire arrows. Those will come in handy. And you want to open this. And look at that. Another shortcut. Go ahead and kill that guy. I'm going to kill that. Kill him too. One thing I will talk about real briefly is there is a respawn limit in this game. So if you keep killing guys, eventually they stop respawning. Just as a heads up. Karkarov, you're really not going to go back out there and back upstairs and regen yet? No, not really. I don't think I need to. That area I'm not going to try to tackle until I've regen. Man, I really worked those guys. That was pretty nice. Got a firebomb out of it. So by now I might be getting chased by a few hollow soldiers. Well, they don't appear to be chasing me. One thing I will warn you about, if you don't kill those guys up top and you fight this ironclad soldiers, what they're called, I like to call them turtle soldiers, you'll notice there are a lot of explosive barrels around here, so just be careful, because those guys up there will throw exploding bombs. That's another good way to kill him, though, if you can lure him towards you, towards an explosive bomb group, and get them to throw while he's walking towards them. They'll just blow up and hit him. The fire sword is also, the fire longsword is also really good for beating him as well. It does a little more damage, I think, than the lightning. Bludgeoning weapons also work well against him. So let's talk to this guy real quick.
Hello there. Traveling all alone in these treacherous times.
Again, this is...
Well, I hope you have a very good reason. Oh, hogwash. Who am I to judge? My name is Pate. I journey hither and thither on a sort of treasure hunt, you might call it. Be careful out there. There's talk of unsavory bandits who prey upon travelers like yourself.
So that's Pate, the treasure hunter. He looks exactly like Patches. He's got a spear like Patches. He dresses like Patches, sort of. But he's not Patches. He's not. He's Pate.
Oh yes, you be cautious if you go any farther. There's treasure in there for certain, but the entrance locks from behind. I saw the same design earlier, and it's the same contraption, I'm sure. I was with this warrior, you see, and he insisted that he go inside first. The rather brusque fellow tried to swipe the loot for himself, but it trapped him inside. I still have the gent's ring. I do hope he wasn't harmed.
So there you go. Also, Pate is a much nicer guy than Patches, because he just told you that's a trap, and if you go in there, the gate will close behind you. So those of you who are smarty pants are going to say, well, it's only a trap because he closes it behind you. He traps you in there. You're wrong. He does not. If you kill him first and then go in, it still not locks behind you. I will know because I've done it just as an experiment. Another interesting thing is that there's a back door into there. And my advice is don't go the way he's suggesting. Bad idea. You want to go the back door. A little bit easier from this direction. That would have been awfully hard if you came from the other direction. That's all I'm going to say. I've done it both ways. Obviously, it's much easier if you come at it from up top. Aromatic ooze. Much like sticky white stuff from Demon Souls, you rub it all over your hands, then put it on your sword. But specifically, see? You also notice he hasn't budged an inch. He's still sitting there. Specifically, aromatic ooze also does magic damage. Also, I hate to say it, but you'll notice there wasn't any treasure back there either, was there? No, not really. Well, there was aromatic ooze. I guess that counts, right? I don't think there's any illusory doors here. Yep, see? He didn't check his corners, and he got plowed. Illusory wall ahead. Well, let's find out if there's an illusory wall ahead. Let's see. There is an illusory wall ahead. Fun times. Sorcerer's Staff and Amber Herb. As I said, I remember there was an illusory wall around here. I just couldn't remember where. It's been a while since I've actually cleared this area. And ploop. And ploop.
Well, I see you managed to escape.
Yes, I did.
I hope that brave warrior didn't come a cropper either. Be careful out there. There's talk of unsavory bandits who prey upon
Yes,
travelers
you've already told me.
like yourself. Oh, but you should take this.
Big item he just gave me. That's the white sign soapstone. That is the permanent
It allows
co-op
undead
item.
to call out for help to one another across the fissures between worlds. With luck, somebody will lend you a hand.
So yeah, you can use that to put down your summon sign, and people will summon you, and you get rewards for completing the boss kills and so on with them. That's a big item if you want to play co-op in this game.
Well, I see you managed to escape. I hope that brave... Be careful out.
That's all he's got to say. Also, Pate, in addition to being more useful than patches, in fact, telling you when there's going to be a trap. Not that you didn't know it was going to be a trap because it's freaking patches. He will also do one other cool thing, and that is he will... Should I risk it? You know why not give it a try? Why not give it a try? Actually, no, your weapons are broken. You need to... Or near breaking. You need to not do that. He also is a summonable ally in one fight, which I might or might not do tonight. First, before I do anything else, I'm definitely going back to Majula. 5,196 souls. That's plenty of souls. My goal right now, the only stats I've actually invested in is Vigor. I took it to 10. I believe it started at 7. Strength and Dexterity. Those are the only ones I've invested in so far. My big goal right now is to get Strength to 20. So I'm going to go ahead and use a Soul of a Proud Knight. That's going to be a big one. These two crappy ones. And these large souls of Lost Undead.